Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am so glad you found this video, and please go ahead and subscribe right now because what happened on the night of July 11th, 2026, at the Allianz Arena in Munich, Germany, is the kind of story that has something for everyone. It has a new Jimin look that immediately went viral across every platform. It has a fashion moment that made an entire city stop and stare. It has a football club with a history spanning over a century doing something they had never done before in a way that made the entire internet burst into laughter and warmth simultaneously. And it has BTS performing in Germany for the first time in 8 years, at a venue that is synonymous with one of the most storied football clubs in the world, in front of an audience that had been waiting for exactly this moment across most of a decade. So let's get into all of it, from the beginning, because every layer of this story deserves to be told properly. Let's start with the football, because it is where the story gets its most unexpected and most universally appealing dimension. The Allianz Arena in Munich is not just a concert venue. It is one of the most iconic stadiums in the world, the home ground of FC Bayern Munich, the most successful football club in German history and one of the most recognized sports brands on the planet. The arena itself is an architectural landmark, famous for its distinctive exterior of inflated ETFE plastic panels that can be illuminated in different colors depending on the event: red for Bayern Munich home games, blue for the city's other club, white for the German national team. When BTS performed there on July 11th and 12th, 2026, the arena was not glowing in Bayern red or national team white. It was glowing purple. And that image, the Allianz Arena, one of the most recognizable stadiums in Europe, illuminated in army purple for 2 consecutive nights, is one of the defining visual moments of the entire European leg of the Arirang World Tour. But the football story did not begin on the night of the concert. It began the day before, on July 10th, when FC Bayern Munich posted a video on their official X account that immediately went viral across sports media, K-pop media, and general entertainment social media simultaneously. The video showed German national team goalkeeper Manuel Neuer, one of the most celebrated and most recognized footballers in the world, a World Cup winner, a multi-time Bundesliga champion, a figure who is to German football what his stadium is to German football culture, holding an army bomb. Jimin's official lightstick. Purple, glowing, completely incongruous in the hands of a 6'2" professional athlete who was looking at it with the specific expression of someone who has been handed an object from another dimension of human experience. The video was gold from its first second. Neuer and his Bayern Munich teammates looked genuinely confused, asking each other, "What is this? What are we doing?" The energy was completely authentic. These were not celebrities performing enthusiasm for a camera. These were professional footballers who had been handed BTS merchandise and were experiencing the specific cognitive dissonance of people who are very good at one thing being asked to engage with a world that is entirely foreign to them. And then the camera found Kim Min-jae, the South Korean defender who plays for Bayern Munich, one of the most prominent Korean athletes in European football, and Kim Min-jae, with the calm authority of someone who actually knows what is happening, explained to his teammates, "This is BTS's official lightstick." During the concert, fans will hold it up to show their support. And then Manuel Neuer, at the end of the video, looked directly into the camera and said, "Hello BTS, we wish you a great performance." And Bayern Munich captioned the post with, "I never thought we would need Manuel Neuer holding an army bomb in our lives." The reaction online was exactly what you would expect when content this perfectly unexpected hits the internet at exactly the right moment. Football fans who had never engaged with BTS content were sharing it because of Neuer. BTS fans who had never particularly followed German football were suddenly researching the Bundesliga because of Kim Min-jae. And everyone, army, football supporters, people who follow neither but recognize a perfect piece of internet content when they see it, was laughing and sharing and discussing what it meant that the Allianz Arena was about to host BTS. The Kim Min-jae dimension added its own layer of warmth to the story. Kim Min-jae is one of South Korea's most accomplished athletes in European football, a defender whose move to Bayern Munich had made him a source of enormous pride among Korean football supporters. For Korean Army specifically, the image of Kim Min-jae patiently explaining army bomb technology to his bewildered European teammates was deeply satisfying, a moment where Korean cultural presence in Germany was represented by both BTS and one of the country's premier sporting exports simultaneously, in the same building, on the same day. And social media quickly confirmed what many suspected: Kim Min-jae knew exactly what he was doing. Comments on the Bayern video pointed to previous footage of the defender engaging with BTS-related content, and the consensus among fans was that his patient, authoritative explanation to Neuer was not the behavior of someone encountering army culture for the first time. Bayern Munich's official account, in the replies to the video, added one more layer to the story. When fans tagged V of BTS in the comments and noted that Bayern Munich had previously revealed their favorite BTS member was V, the official account responded, "OT7 but Taeyang is my favorite." The fact that Bayern Munich's social media team knows BTS member names, can reference their fandom's terminology, and is willing to engage with the fan community in their own language is itself a remarkable indicator of how thoroughly BTS has penetrated the cultural consciousness of major global institutions. This is a football club founded in 1900. They are run by people who understand exactly how cultural relevance works in the modern media landscape, and their willingness to fully commit to the BTS collaboration, not just a perfunctory acknowledgement but a genuinely warm, genuinely funny, genuinely knowledgeable engagement, reflects how seriously they take the cultural moment that BTS's arrival in their stadium represents. This is BTS's first concert in Germany since their 2018 Love Yourself tour in Berlin, 8 years later. 8 years. For German Army, the gap between that Berlin date and the Munich Allianz Arena show in 2026 spans an enormous amount of life, years of following the group through every era, every comeback, every period of military service, every solo project, every moment of waiting for the full group to return. The Era-Rang World Tour is the answer to all of those years of waiting. And Munich, as the first German stop of the tour, carried the specific emotional weight of a reunion that has been deferred for almost a decade. The Allianz Arena confirmed the specific scale of the event with unmistakable clarity. The arena has a seating capacity of 75,000 for concerts, making it one of the largest concert venues in Germany. For 2 consecutive nights, July 11th and July 12th, every one of those seats was occupied. The organization of the event itself was a massive logistical operation, with Bayern Munich's official visitor information page noting that no parking was available in standard areas during the BTS concerts, that the North Bus Park closed the evening before the first show, and that public transport was the strongly recommended option given the expected volume of attendees. The city of Munich, in other words, reorganized parts of its transportation infrastructure around the presence of BTS. That is what a 75,000 capacity sold-out stadium show does to a city. And that is what BTS does to every city they visit on this tour. And now, within all of that extraordinary context, let's talk about Jimin. Because Jimin at the Munich concert was, as Jimin tends to be at every stop of this tour, the specific subject of the most concentrated and most enthusiastic fan reaction. And the reason for that reaction, on the night of July 11th, was a single accessory that changed the entire visual register of his appearance and immediately sent every corner of social media into the specific kind of collective appreciation that only Jimin's fashion choices seem to be capable of generating. Jimin appeared on the Allianz Arena stage on the first night of the Munich run wearing a bandana that covered a portion of his long blonde hair. The rest of his look completed a specific aesthetic that fans immediately recognized and immediately began analyzing: a tank top, clothing with a boho character, the long flowing hair partially contained by the bandana creating a silhouette that was simultaneously relaxed and striking. The overall effect was what commentators across fan spaces and media outlets started describing within hours of the first concert photos and videos appearing online as bohemian, gypsy traveler, free spirit. Someone who looks like they belong in a different era entirely and yet somehow feels completely contemporary and completely their own. The bandana itself is a deceptively simple accessory. It is the kind of thing that has been part of fashion for decades across different cultural contexts, from American rock culture to Southwestern style to surf culture to countless other contexts where the bandana functions as a marker of a specific kind of laid-back, freedom-associated aesthetic. But what Jimin does with any accessory is make it feel like it was always his and only his. The way the bandana interacted with the long blonde hair, partially covering it, letting the rest flow around his face and over his shoulders, created an image that felt genuinely iconic rather than simply stylish. It was not just a cute hat choice. It was a specific visual statement about the character Jimin was inhabiting on that stage on that night. Fans immediately began making comparisons. Bohemian artist, gypsy traveler, And others went further, connecting the look to specific romantic and mythological archetypes: the wanderer, the free spirit, the person who belongs to no single place but brings something essential to every place they pass through. These are grand comparisons, and they might seem excessive if you had not seen the actual footage. But the footage from that Munich night shows something that genuinely supports those comparisons. There is a quality to how Jimin looks with the bandana, the combination of the hair and the outfit and the accessories, and the specific way he carries himself on a stadium stage, that goes beyond simply looking good. It looks like a complete visual statement from someone who knows exactly what they are doing and why. The immediate viral spread of the Munich bandana look followed the pattern that has characterized every Jimin fashion moment on this tour. Fan cameras captured it from multiple angles within the first moments of his appearance. Screenshots and short clips circulated on TikTok, on X, on Instagram within minutes. The caption language that accompanied those posts was consistent and enthusiastic. "He is doing it again, the man cannot miss, every concert a new look and every look an event." The consistency of the viral pattern is itself remarkable, not because ARMY is always going to enthusiastically support whatever Jimin does, but because every look he has brought to this tour has genuinely deserved the reaction it has received. The Lion Jimin debut at Gwangwonmun. The Rapunzelman evolution at Tokyo Dome. The braids that reached Telemundo in Las Vegas. The Greek god accessories look in Brussels. The Charles Jeffrey Loverboy beanie in London. And now the Munich bandana, each one distinct, each one a genuine surprise, each one perfectly suited to the specific character of the city in the specific moment in the tour's narrative arc. What is the broader fashion meaning of the Munich bandana look? It is worth asking this question seriously, because the fashion commentary around Jimin on this tour has consistently been produced not just by fan accounts but by professional publications. Billboard selected Jimin's hair as one of the best moments of the London show, describing it as so powerful that it deserves praise on its own, and specifically calling his stage performance, where he whipped his long hair around, as having Samson-like power. Dazed, the British fashion and culture publication, posted a direct cam video of Jimin's body-to-body performance from the London concert as the only video filmed at the event on their official TikTok account. The Guardian gave the London show 5 stars. These are not fan accounts. These are professional media outlets choosing to focus their coverage of a 75,000-person stadium concert on Jimin's specific contribution. The Munich bandana continues that story. If the London look, particularly the Samson Power hair performance, was about raw physical presence and the kind of commanding visual impact that comes from a performer in complete command of their physicality, the Munich bandana represents something slightly different. It is softer. More romantic. More wanderer than warrior. The same person, the same tour, the same extraordinary talent, expressed through a completely different visual register. And that ability to move between visual registers, to be the commanding Samson figure one night and the romantic bohemian traveler the next, is part of what makes Jimin's fashion presence on this tour so genuinely remarkable. He is not working from a single template and repeating it with minor variations. He is genuinely exploring, genuinely surprising, genuinely creating something new at every stop. The German army community's reaction to the Munich look also had its own specific character that is worth noting. Germany has an army community that has been intensely invested in this tour since the moment the European dates were announced. For German fans, the Munich shows represent not just a BTS concert but a cultural event of genuine local significance, K-pop arriving at Allianz Arena, the most famous stadium in Germany, with Bayern Munich doing support videos and Kim Min-jae explaining army bomb technology, and 75,000 seats filled for 2 consecutive nights. The local media coverage of the BTS Munich shows engaged with the cultural crossover dimension in a way that reflected how seriously German cultural observers are now taking the K-pop phenomenon. When a publication like Stern or a broadcaster like ARD covers a BTS concert, they are acknowledging that what is happening in their country cannot be dismissed as a niche phenomenon. It is something that fills the Allianz Arena twice and transforms how Munich's transportation infrastructure operates for a weekend. And at the center of that cultural event, alongside 6 equally talented, equally hard-working bandmates, was Jimin in a bandana, looking like something that belongs in a different century and feeling completely inevitable in this one. The Arirang World Tour has been building toward moments like Munich throughout its entire run. Beginning in April 2026 in Goyang, South Korea, moving through Japan and North America and into Europe, the tour has generated a consistent stream of cultural crossovers, viral moments, and genuine mainstream media recognition at every stop. The pattern established itself early. BTS arrives in a city. The city responds with a level of engagement and enthusiasm that surprises observers who thought they understood the scale of what was coming. Individual members generate specific moments that become the talking points of each stop, and the cumulative effect is a portrait of a world tour that is operating on a completely different level from what any K-pop act has previously achieved. Munich is not the end of the European leg. Paris is next, 2 nights at the Stade de France on July 17th and 18th, before BTS heads to New York for the FIFA World Cup final halftime show on July 19th. And then the tour continues into Latin America, where the Buenos Aires shows at the Estadio Único Diego Armando Maradona, 3 nights, after demand forced organizers to add a third date. Wait as the next major milestone. Every city has offered something specific and something surprising. Madrid gave us the Atletico jersey reveal and Jimin's promise to return. Brussels gave us the fan safety moment in Boy With Love as a surprise song. London gave us the Guardian's 5-star review in Jimin's Samson Power and Charles Jeffrey Loverboy sold out in real time. And Munich gave us Manuel Neuer holding an army bomb and Jimin in a bandana looking like a romantic wanderer while 75,000 people held their purple light sticks up in the stadium where Bayern Munich play their home games. There is something that feels almost cinematic about the way this tour has unfolded, the way each city has contributed its own chapter to a story that keeps getting better, keeps surprising, keeps delivering moments that feel impossible until they actually happen. And at the center of that cinematic quality, threading through every chapter of the story, is Jimin. Not because the other 6 members are not extraordinary, they are, every single one of them, and the success of this tour is a testament to all 7. But because Jimin seems to have a specific gift for generating moments that crystallize something larger, that turn a specific instance of fashion or performance or human connection into something that feels like it is saying something about who BTS is and what this era of their career means. The bandana at Allianz Arena is a small thing. 1 accessory. 1 night's outfit choice. But in the context of 8 years since the last German show, in the context of Manuel Neuer holding an army bomb the day before, in the context of Kim Min-jae bridging Korean sports and Korean music at the same stadium simultaneously, in the context of 75,000 fans filling a purple Allianz Arena in the middle of a summer tour that has already generated more cultural moments than most artists produce in an entire career, it becomes something more than a fashion choice. It becomes part of the story of what BTS in Munich in 2026 looked like and felt like and meant. And when Jimin whipped his long hair around that stage, bandana catching the light, outfit speaking of open roads and bohemian freedom, voice filling a stadium that has heard the roar of World Cup winning athletes and Champions League triumphs, he was adding his own chapter to a building that has witnessed decades of extraordinary human achievement. And 75,000 people held their army bombs up and decided that this, too, was extraordinary. Because it was. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more content covering every dimension of the BTS Erarang World Tour as it continues into Paris, the FIFA World Cup final halftime show, and beyond. Drop a comment below telling me your favorite moment from the Munich shows, the Bayern Munich army bomb video, the bandana look, or something else entirely that caught your attention. And tell me which remaining tour city you are most excited about. I will see you in the next video.